My name is Jessica Moore and today I'm going to be doing my dip powder nails at home. It is Monday night, I just got home from work. I've been picking at them all day long. They used to be this really pretty light pink color. I'm also going to be showing one of my favorite tips for repairing a broken nail because I do have one nail that's like broken on two sides, but I want to keep them kind of long. So what I do is I take a tea bag and I actually repair the broken nail, and it's the best trick I've ever learned. So I want to share that with you as well. I also bought a nail drill, and so I'm going to be showing you how I use that as well. This is the entire process for removing dip powder nails, buffing out the nail with a nail file, shaping them, repairing this broken nail with a tea bag and nail glue, and then I will also be starting my dip powder nails from scratch. I'm going to be using a really fun pink color, one of my favorites. I do have about 4 dip colors. They're all the same brand. Everything that I use will be linked in the description below, as well as I'll have a blog post updated with everything that I've been using. I did an older video about a year ago. I've since gotten the nail drill and I have added some more colors, and whenever I made that first tutorial I was still very new at doing them. Now I feel like they look a lot better because I've been doing them for a much longer time. So the first thing that you'll need to do is cut 10 pieces of foil into strips. The next thing you do is take a cotton ball and you kind of unravel it like this, and then you'll want to make 10 little cotton pads out of it. So I just separate it into pieces and I make 10 of them. Now I'm going to get the shiny finish off of the nails themselves. This is the nail drill kit that I got from Amazon. It was like 14 bucks. It's really, really handy for things like this because it speeds up your whole process. So I use this head and a pretty rough sander. You just put that on there. Then I'm gonna just turn my drill on, and it's on the lowest possible speed. The next step is to take this 100% acetone. You can see that my nails are buffed. They're no longer shiny. What you do is you soak each little piece of cotton in the acetone, and then I will show you, I just place it on my nail and wrap the foil around pretty tight, and then I have to leave it for 45 minutes. So what I'm going to do is pour myself a glass of wine. You always want to start with your pinky and go like this because you need to use these fingers to wrap. This last one takes a lot of patience and skill when they're all wrapped up, but got it. I just took off all of the dip powder. I soaked them for about 45 minutes and they just come off really clean. You just take each one off like that, and that is my natural nails. What I'm gonna do first is fix this broken nail right there and right here on this side. I'm using scissors, and this is a tea bag that I have emptied the tea from. It's a tea I don't like. And I cut out little slips like this. And then I'm using this nail glue. I'm going to cut slips that are big enough to go down this huge crack in my nail, as well as this one. But I think first I'm going to go ahead and file them just to make sure that I have the correct nail before I put the tea bag on there. This is my nail file. It's a glass nail file, so the idea is you don't have to ever replace it. It's actually been etched in the glass, and so I've had this for years. I've never had to replace it. So I'm gonna go ahead and file the shape. I will show you what shape I want. I wanna make them like that or like this. I'm just gonna kind of lightly buff out the top of this nail. And then I am going to get my trusty tea bag and I'm gonna cut out that little piece right there. I ended up filing away the crack on this side, but I'm gonna just cut out a piece big enough to go right here. Okay, so I'm going to take my nail glue and I'm going to put just a dollop on that part of the nail that is broken. I'm gonna take this tea bag and lay it over that glue. Okay. Top it with some more nail glue and let that dry. Now I put this little cone-shaped file in my drill and I'm going to drill right under the cuticle just to get the shine off the nail. Alright, so I've completely filed down my nails to the cuticle so they don't have any shine left to them. I get really close to the cuticle and around the edges. That prevents any lifting. I don't do too much, just enough to kind of get the shine off. Nail glue is dried. I'm gonna just file this one down. Now I take my alcohol and this one and a cotton ball, and I'm going to sanitize each nail. The purpose of this is to get all of the nail oils off of the natural nail and then all of the nail dust as well, because all of that can inhibit the bonding of the nail product. The first step is the bond. So I apply this to every nail twice. This is the Kiara Sky clear powder. So what I do first is I create the apex on the nail. And anytime you want to use your powder, you want to use the number 2 step, and this is the base. So how you create an apex is it actually gives a natural nail curve to your nail so that the dip powder isn't just flat, and it actually helps it not lift. Start by just doing halfway or 3/4 down each nail, and then I dip it in the powder. And then I'm gonna do the same for every nail, just one stripe down the middle of the nail, and a dip in the powder, and I'm only starting about 3/4 of the way down. So I like to go ahead and get all of the powder off my nails. You want to do that between each coat. And now it's time for coat number 2 for the apex. So I'm going to do a little bit of a bigger surface on the nail and then again in the clear. And now you seal the apex with the number 3 Seal Protect. The layer of Seal Protect is dry, and you can tell because whenever you tap on the nail, it sounds very hollow. We file over what I've already done. And the whole purpose of this is to give the nails that more oval appearance. This is the color I'm doing. It's called Cotton Kisses. I'm gonna take that alcohol swab from before and run it over my nails one more time. I'm gonna do another layer of bond, and then I'm going to start the process of the color dip. So whenever you're about to do your dip powder, you wanna just lightly swirl it around to mix all of the powder in there. I don't know why, but I've always been told to. What you do is you wanna make sure that you are always a hairline away from the cuticle while you're doing your base. Focus it starting a hairline from the cuticle all the way up. You can always add more powder to the edges, but you can not take away. So you want to make sure that you get as far away from the skin as possible, and then dip it in there. And there's my first nail. And now I'm ready to do my second coat, so I'm going to brush off the excess on each nail. And now it's coat number 2. So this is after 2 coats of just plain dip powder. I do 3 coats just because I am very rough with my hands and I like them to be a lot thicker. So I'm going to do 1 more. And if you notice, I'm not brushing any of the powder off of this hand until I'm about to do it because I want to make sure that the base coat completely dries with the powder before I do it. But I brush off the fingertips of my left hand before I paint my right hand, just because it's easier to grip the nail brush when they're not slick with acrylic powder. Final coat with a coat of the clear. This just makes it so where whenever you file the nails down, you're not getting into the color. And I use a silver spoon to apply that so I don't get any of the color into the clear you don't want to contaminate. So I'm gonna start the top coat now. So I just dip the spoon into the powder and then I just sprinkle it over the nail and knock off the excess, and that's it. This is after the color and the final coat of clear. I think they look really good. So now what you do is you put Seal Protect on, which is this, and then you let that dry. I wait about a minute, so that is dry. So I'm going to take my fine file. I'm gonna start by just buffing out the edges of it, making sure that they are neat. Then I'm gonna buff out the top. Okay, so filing is done. I'm taking that same alcohol swab and I am going to wipe off my nails to get all of that dust off. Another coat of Seal Protect. Now this is the part that takes a while to dry. You want to wait at least a minute or 2 between. So during this time I like to be very careful with them, but I will clean up all of my nail stuff. So now I'm going to do my top coat.
Let's go do the dishes. No one's yelling at me.
Here, watch this while you're at it. Yes. So the trick here is to the trick here the trick here.
I didn't know. So, are you doing volume now?
Yes. I hate you. I'd rather you do that than me record. It doesn't piss me off. Did you wash the outside of the dish?
Yeah, I'm a child.
Yes, you are. All right.
Soap spots.
Okay, so the trick here is to do
Not do the dishes.
Mac!
Tell them, friends.
The trick here is to do 2 very light, thin coats. So the first coat is going to be kind of shiny, but not as shiny as you want. So you just kind of let that dry for a little bit, and then you do a final coat. So these are my completed nails. They look so good. I love the shine and the shape, and they don't become like dull or anything for weeks. They feel like this for forever until I take them off. So these will probably last for a good 2 to 3 weeks. It usually takes about an hour and a half, maximum 2 hours, and that's only if I really take my time. But in my opinion, I'm saving at least $60 every time that I do them, it's worth it to me. And I love it because it forces me to just sit down and chill. Whenever I'm soaking them off, I can't do anything except just like watch TV, do something different. So for me, that helps because I'm not feeling guilty for not doing anything. So it's kind of like my spa day, and I love them. I love to do them. I do them once every 2 to 3 weeks, like I mentioned, but it saves a ton of money. So definitely subscribe if you want to. I am getting married, so all of my videos are going to be kind of revolving around wedding planning. I'm currently editing a wedding dress vlog, and so hopefully I'll be done with that by the time this gets posted. And I'm doing lots of videos about day in the life, how to survive a, for me, 8:30 to 5:30 office job while also having kind of a creative mind, and wedding planning, and trying to keep it all together at once. So definitely gonna have more videos up, so subscribe if you want to.